That was a long meeting. So from here, if I click one of these things.
No, so that's the thing I wanted to talk to you about. Is like, basically simple
understand, right? Explain to him.
Like basically just,
he wants to, you know. I'm almost tired. It's not even noon. I'm already tired. Hey guys, welcome back to Andyprep's YouTube channel. I'm Andy. I'm an educational consultant in Seoul, Korea. We mainly focus on giving advice on US college admissions, SATs, and other related things, so you already know that. Now remember that everything I say here is based on my education and experience over 21 years now. It's been 21 years. What a long time. Helping students achieve their success. So if you find these videos helpful, useful, please share it with your friends, family, and don't forget to click the like button. That means a lot to me. Let's begin now. Okay, there have been some videos that I uploaded. You know, we talked on those videos, we talked about the SAT scores compared to all these different colleges, ACT scores, SAT score, almost like a requirement, like a minimum SAT score, ACT score you're supposed to have to be able to really apply to these Ivy League schools, all that stuff. But like if you don't have those scores, if your GPA is not 4.0, a little below, does that mean that you don't even qualify? Like do you not even try to apply to Ivy League schools? What are the chances? What can you improve? What's my thought on those ideas? We're going to talk about those today. By the way, just in case you guys don't know what I do and who I am here, you know, we mainly focus on Asian students, help them apply to US colleges, mostly top US colleges, top 20 ranked US universities or above. So through my 21 years experience, we're not the biggest in Korea, but we probably have the best record of, you know, having students attend some of these top US colleges. So based on those knowledge and experience, I want to talk to you about, you know, what to do if your score's a little below 4.0. You don't have so much extracurricular activities. What can be improved? If you don't have a perfect SAT score, what does that mean? Let's get to those. Basically, most of these Ivy Leagues and Ivy Leagues plus MIT, Stanford, their regular round acceptance rate are way below 10%, like almost close to 5%, 6%. Some schools way below 2%, 3%. You know that. Cornell may be the only school. By the way, I graduated from Cornell. Cornell may be the only school that's close to 8%, 9% these days, but the acceptance rate has dropped so much lately, especially with this pandemic going on. This year the numbers are gonna go even lower, which means tougher to get into. But anyways, so what does that mean? Let's say 5% acceptance rate. That means out of 100 candidates, only 5 people get accepted. You probably wonder, can one of the 5 people can be me, you, or am I gonna be one of those 95 candidates who are going to get rejections from these schools? What are the chances? I mean, I wanna say that it could be you could make it through 5% range if you can improve some of the parts. I've dealt with some students who had almost to no extracurricular activities, especially with this pandemic going on last year, maybe throughout this 2021 year too. Not much you could do, you know, but when you have that extra time, how can you make that time valuable when other kids are playing computer games and just wasting time and sleeping more? I don't know, get fat. Whatever. How did you use that same amount of time to do something more meaningful, valuable? That's what the colleges want to look into, right? So remember that. Now, if you already have done about 10 extracurricular activities, there are about 10 items that you could include in the Common App. But out of those 10, you want to stick with 1 or 2 things that will make you stand out. That's what you want to focus on. You don't have to have all 10 elaborated into in-depth and all that stuff. Just focus on 1 or 2 things. If you're a sports athlete, just focus on those. If you are a good music player, focus on those. If you have some creative extracurricular activity involvements, focus on that part. Now, how do you show that? How do you show that you have this talent, passion, interest in those things? You will write it on the supplemental essays, extracurricular activity essays. Now, you have to list it on the application and then you will say, but that's where you have to do a good job showing why those activities are so important. By writing an awesome essay, boost your whole application like up a tier, up a level. Okay, now let's get back to the fundamentals first. Now, you all know that the GPAs and SAT scores and ACT scores, all this standardized testing qualities or performance are part of academics. That's what the admissions want to analyze, study, evaluate from academics. And then over here, there's an extracurricular non-academic evaluation part. Over there, they will look at your recommendation letters, your own written essays, and your list of awards, activities, and all that stuff too. So these two, which part value more? I would say the academics are about like 65%, and then the extracurricular activities about 35%, 40%, 6 to 4, I don't think 5 to 5. I don't think they're equivalent. Still, the better student you are, the more you study, you will perform better as far as college admission process goes, but not so much as like it used to be in my time, 20 years ago, it was more like a 70%, 30%, but now it's like 6 to 4, close to 5 to 5, maybe. Just keep that in mind. So if your score is not so perfect over here, try to improve, try to go and take the SAT one more round, try to improve your junior year scores and then upcoming senior year scores. Now, remember, when you signed up for the senior year courses, you want to sign up for challenging courses. That senior year courses and then how rigorous the course selections are will make a big difference in college admission evaluation process. If you take all easy courses in senior year, and then let's say thinking that you want to score something above 4.0, all A, so you go with the easy options, then colleges will have some points deducted because your workload was basically too simple, too light. So you want heavy workload and then perform well. That's really important for senior year. If you have those, then you have a shot. Let's look at it from a different perspective. Do you have to be talented in all areas of studying, extracurriculars, awards, everywhere? Or can you show a talent and passion in one area, and would that be enough to get you into one of these top US colleges? I would say if you're good everywhere, then you will pick one or two things that you want to focus on writing your application. That's an easy job. You have an easier time at being successful. But if you only are good at one or two things over here, it could still be good, I think. Because, that's all they need. It's almost like playing sports. If you're an offense player, you have to be good at offense. You don't have to be so much good at defense. In other words, if you're a defense player, you have to be good at defense. You don't have to score any goals. You don't have to be so good at offense, but you have to be awesome at defense because you're a defense player. That's how it works. You don't have to all around, offense, defense, everywhere play. If you are, that's great, but you don't have to. That's what you want to focus on. Here's another tip. When you're writing the application, try not to focus on your weaknesses too much. There on the application, there are additional pages where you could say whatever you want. But over there, some people try to say, okay, for example, my sophomore year GPA is not as good as they could be because I had this problem, that problem. But, if you have not mentioned it on that section, on that page, the college admissions probably would not have looked at it. But you brought it up to their attention, and now it's obvious. They're going to look at your flaws a little more carefully. So my point is focus on your strengths. You must have one or two strengths that you want to talk about on your essays and on your applications. Do not spend too much time on explaining what your weaknesses are or why the weaknesses had to be your weaknesses. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So to answer that question, like if you think you don't you don't qualify for these top schools, what do? I would still include it on your list, but you have to have a more realistic target too. So over here are your target schools. One tier above, you'll have some schools that you may think you're not going to get in, but you want to give it a shot. Maybe those schools will be your decision schools. If you choose decision option, you have a higher chance of getting accepted, right? That's what the statistics say at least. And then if you have target schools here, you have to have a one tier below. We call them safety schools. Just in case you think you're going to be fine in senior year, but just in case your scores drop a little bit and the SAT test scores don't come out the way you expected them to be, you have to have a safety net below your target schools. I hope that makes sense to you. Hey, that's it for today. I do try to read and respond to every comment, so if you have any questions about anything related to this video or whatever, please leave it in the comment. I will try to respond to it as soon as I can. And I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Be smooth. Bye-bye.